Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to This is Mappa. And as you can tell from my voice, nothing much has really happened apart from three draws and a little loss. There you go. It's
Yeah.
like three men and a little lady. See? Three draws and three draws and a little loss. And that's referring to the top four teams all falling over like dominoes. I guess
I,
that's the right.
I believe the right phrase is shit in the bed, I think is the correct phrase.
Yes, that's the apt phrase. Yes, correct. How you doing, Thassos?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I mean, we're recording this. It's like 10, 11 o'clock. But
I feel
what is
bad, man. This
time?
is my fault. This is my fault.
No, seriously,
Family gets
seriously.
in the way of things, unfortunately. You
Oh,
know.
family, yeah. Bloody, family. But yeah,
Fucking.
how are you doing? How are you doing is the important thing.
Good, good. Interesting start to the week. We're recording this on a Tuesday, 10th of January, and this time next week, I'm hoping we will have some exciting news to bring you guys. I've told you what the news is. I obviously can't repeat it on air, but it's very exciting. It's surely going to be groundbreaking for Cypriot football. So yeah, watch this space, as they say. Watch this space.
Can we actually say as well, all the guesses that have been on social media so far are completely wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely wrong. Right, without any further ado, first game. Let's start with the game which I completely forgot about because it felt like an eternity ago,
Yeah.
and that was Salamina beating Paralimni by 2 goals
Yeah.
to nil.
Yeah.
2 goals in injury time, my friend. I'll let you take the floor with this one.
Yeah. I mean, Baralimni are really trying, aren't they? I mean, kind of at the beginning of the match, they were kind of putting pressure on Ner Salamina on that defense, taking shots at goal, passing it around, trying to trying to get trying to get something away. It's not the end product. The end product's just not arriving for them. So which is probably going to start worrying them now, especially since the teams below them are picking up points. Um, the I think there's something that kind of happened. I can't remember if it's in the first half or the second half, but there's an opportunity for Nia Salamina where the ball's kind of bouncing around all over the place, and then you've got one player going down holding his head and looks like he's not moving. You've got and then you've got a second player also goes down, and the referee's just playing on, and there's like a big old like pinball going on, and the ball ends up in the back of the net, and the referee the referee actually gives the goal. So it's this one here. You can see you've got two players down in the box holding their heads, and he just lets play continue. No one's business. Yeah, now Salamina score from it. And the only reason the goal gets disallowed and actual somebody goes to see if the players are all right is because referee goes to do a check or do an on-field check with VAR.
Yep.
But I mean, there's concussion protocols, right? UEFA were the ones that brought in the concussion protocols. So
Yep.
regardless of what league we're in, they need to be keeping an eye on this stuff.
Of course. And there was ample opportunity for the referee to blow. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and
It's just
he just let it carry on. He just
it's
let it
mind
carry on.
boggling. It's
It's
mind boggling.
I don't. But yeah, I think when you look back on it as well, you see he gets smashed across the side of the face as well.
Yep.
The Baralimni player once we see kind of the VAR review.
Yeah.
But
Which
yeah,
you know what I found quite amusing, and I shouldn't really laugh at this, but the captain of Paralimni was claiming for handball, not that both of
yeah,
his teammates were down.
that's the other thing as well. I'm like, my dude, I don't know. I
Uh,
look at this forearm smash straight in the face like that.
but But the thing is, what has he actually given us? He's disallowed the goal for what? I don't.
Well, it's for the elbow because I think he gets a yellow card out for the attacking player as well. I think at the end of this.
I didn't watch the highlights in full with any sound, so I can't. I don't know exactly what was going on.
Yeah, there you
But
go. And then the yellow card comes out there.
At first, I thought he gave a foul on the goalkeeper. I'm thinking,
Oh no, man. No, man, you watch it back as well, right? That player, he gets an elbow in the face, and at the same time, the goalkeeper punches him in the back of the head. So you needed to stop the game, man. It's not. But anyway, game carries on, and kind of Paralimni, I think, the Paralimni players were kind of shell shocked from what went on, and then obviously there's this their first goal for Salamina goes in the 91st minute. Comedy of errors, terrible marking all over the place, and the attackers are getting to the second ball. Kind of the movement of the ball in this highlight as well is insane. Like the kind of spin the ball was getting, and the way it was traveling through the air was, I don't know, and Klimovic, right? The header, kind of the direction of the header to score as well, with all that spin on it. It's like you see him, he actually aims as well, which means, you had there was lots of space for the Paralimni players to actually jump up and clear the ball. You just see Klimovic kind of is the first one to the second ball, and there you go, nods it in.
Did I just see someone duck as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's Meira.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, absolute jokes. And then obviously this goal goes in, so all the Paralimni players are kind of bombing forward to try and get a goal.
Great finish though.
It's a fantastic finish from Chico. It's really, it is Chico, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic goal. He had a lot of work to do once he received the ball. Ran half the length of the pitch and just little think of a finish.
Bursa ball, mate. Bursa ball.
Exactly.
Chico
But yeah,
Panther. That sounds like a proper reggaeton name, doesn't it? Chico Panther.
Yeah, he sounds like somebody who'd be on a DJ Khaled album, doesn't he? And another one.
We the best.
Oh, dear.
That's a win that they needed.
I've just seen that as well. He's got odd shoes on. One's red and one's green.
Oh, right.
He's got two different sets of shoes on. Anyway, yeah, the Salamina needed that. We were talking about them, like you were saying, we were talking about them a few weeks ago, talking about maybe they could make a move for that top six, and they've kind of fallen off at the moment. So they needed a win, kind of just to get themselves out of the doldrums, and then the kind of the way that they won it as well. Both the goals in injury time, it is probably going to be like a rocket up the arse for them motivation-wise, I think.
Well, they moved up to 7 after that win. But obviously, Ayel's victory, which we're going to talk about in a moment, so I've slipped down back to 8. But I think Bursa is probably, at the moment, he and maybe one or two other head coaches are the safest.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look like he's in any trouble. 2 defeats on the bounce is a massive thing in Cyprus. That means it's the end of the world. But he seems very, very safe. And I like that the board trust him. I like that they're giving him the opportunity to try and implement a certain playing style. And yes, I think he's been unfortunate with various injuries to players. Like, for example, Botiak came back and he had a very good game. Thiago's in and out of the team. But again, I guess he's rotating because of the age. Flori hasn't had the greatest of seasons, but he's still making a bit of an impact. And obviously, Mr. Reggaeton coming on and getting a goal. So, yeah, it's looking good for them. And look, let's get it right. They got promoted, and you'd have thought that they'd be one of the candidates to go down. But clearly, they're pretty. They're 15 points ahead of Olympiacos at the bottom. So,
yeah,
I think it'll take a monumental fuck up for them to go down.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll have to work.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, but they'll have to work really hard to get into that top six now,
Yep. Yep.
especially with other teams coming into form. But yeah, Paralimni, if they're not careful, they're gonna be sat down there at the bottom, especially with
Yeah.
Agrita and Olympiacos starting to pick up points now. So it's getting very dangerous for them.
Yeah, it's looking very sticky. Was it 4 losses out of 5?
Yeah,
Yes. I
yeah,
need my guy Vucenovic to start scoring goals, man. I had faith in this guy. He's a good guy.
yeah. Well, I mean, this game we didn't really see much. We saw their chances, starting off at the game, but Diawara plays Diawara, Meira were a bit quiet, which means he's not getting the service he needs.
Yep.
So, but Baralimni have announced a new loan signing.
Yes, go on.
They've signed the second player from Abuel. So Sacha trading on his name and obviously his son being in the team, trying to get other players in Baralimni. So they've signed Policarpo. This year, if all goes well for Paralimni this season, they're going to have players. They're going to have some exciting young players, more exciting young players on top of Diawara and Meira and all these players. And Abuel are also going to have 2 young players who are going to be knocking on the door, ready for next season.
Yep.
Now, dependent, we'll probably bring this up a bit more in the Abuel after the Abuel game, but dependent on what goes on and what's going on there at the moment financially, Diawara and Policarpo might end up being very important next season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But the finances of various clubs are quite dubious, to say the least, especially the announcements, which I'm sure we'll go into a little bit later. But shall we get the board draws out of the way?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Because in all fairness, I don't even know why there are 2.5 minutes of footage for this one.
I watched this game. Well, watch is a very strong word.
You paid attention. You paid attention to a 0-0 draw between Olympiacos and Cypriot.
Well, the way we've been talking about, the way I've been talking about Knobloch and Moll, this probably was going to finish 0-0, but I would have expected them to be a bit more busier than what they had to do. There was really not a lot going on. There really wasn't. There was at one point. At one point, Duris had a really, really, really good chance to score. Hit the bar.
This one here?
Yeah. There you go. It just hits the bar.
Yep.
Just a little bit lower, and then I think it's like what you Londoners call sweet as a nut, mate.
Sweet as a nut, mate. That's it.
Yeah.
Looking for the top bin, son.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think on another point, Knobloch had like a nightmare regarding clearing the ball at one point. But yeah, if it was, there you go, this. If that was a better player, if this was a better team, that's a goal. But yeah, apart from those 2 half chances, I mean, Duris was a pretty good shot. But apart from those chances, there wasn't anything in this game. Like nothing. Nothing
at all. And I'll tell you what, after that fuck up by Knobloch, you mentioned earlier, I think Sofroni would have been having kittens.
Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, this was a good save from Mal. But yeah, they're like, not much to say really about this game. But
No.
there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things to discuss while the highlights are going. I guess there's Olympiacos. Oh, well, there you go. It's the end of the highlights now. But yeah, Olympiacos are going back to the Magarion. Yeah, it's official. It's an official statement. They've gone out and said, "Yep, we're going back to the Magarion now." And the Tyrion is still being used by Garibaldissa, so I guess there's no reason why Olympiacos can't use Cyprus's version of the Colosseum. Just for the love of God, don't jump around in it too much. You're on mute.
Crap. I had a really good joke there. Oh my God. I'm not even going to edit this bit out. It's just for comedic purposes, honestly. Because I'm gonna put this one out tomorrow morning, right? And I said it as a premiere, so it's pre-recorded. So I see people in the chat. So people in the chat, I'm not editing this bit out. I just said they're going to the Magario, and it's a good job because it's like the Wildstone Raider. You got no fans.
You've got no fans.
Right. You got no fans, mate. When I was watching I watched the first 5 minutes of that game, and I saw the Ghazi be empty. And for a second, I thought I went back in time to COVID, the pandemic, was just empty. Like you could hear the cars driving up and down the highway.
No, the best thing is like, especially when it's like opportune moments when Sofroni gets really, really pissed off. You can hear him go, Thassos! Oh, then Thassos, come on! And the thing is, you don't know, like, do the commentators apologize for the language? Like, what's the deal there? Because again, I was watching it. I was watching it kind of on and off, like, because of how boring that match was. I was my eyes were just going like.
The orange and green combination didn't help either.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like anyway. Olympiacos obviously outscoring. Olympiacos outscoring. So they've gone and signed a striker. Just like barely an hour ago. They've signed Durmishai. Fiorin Durmishai. He's an Albanian who's basically been in Greece his whole life. He's a striker who's on loan from Ofi Ingridi.
Okay.
He's played for all sorts of teams in Greece and also Vaslan Beveren in Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so he's a well-travelled individual.
He's travelled in 2 countries. He's on his 3rd now. But yeah, he's got 31 goals and 6 assists in 125 games. And I saw he's got 1 appearance for Greece.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
So interesting signing. We'll see how it goes. Because I think Olympiacos are definitely missing somebody to put the ball in the net. I think we keep saying Guerriere is the top goal scorer with 3, and they're all penalties.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy.
But yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next game then. I think we've done enough talking about this fucking game. Well, Agrida changed their head coach to Agrabovic, as he's so kindly named. And Agridas are beginning to become a pain in the Agridas, aren't they?
That should have been the title of the video.
4 points from a possible 6 against 2 clubs who, let's get it right, should be beating them.
Yep.
And yeah, an interesting game against Aris. Aris very frustrated in this one. In fact, Aris were down to 10 men in the second half, but Agrida didn't show any fear. They went for it, and I think Van Alves was actually the most busier goalkeeper out of the 2.
Yeah, I think it was a weird one because Agrida were the better performing team up until Aris went down to the 10 men. And then
Yep.
for some reason that seemed to gee Aris up. Probably Spilevsky kind of going ape shit on the touchline.
With a bit of paper saying, "Hurry up!"
Yeah, guys, I hate you. but yeah, Agrida's players again working very, very hard, getting results that they shouldn't have any right getting, and frustrating another team.
Yeah.
So
Is the sending off?
yeah, so this is a red card. I think
Yeah,
it's a
100%.
professional foul. I don't think you can argue with it much. He didn't actually give a red card, did he?
No, he gave him a booking originally, and to be honest, when I first saw it, I said that's a red straight away.
Yeah.
And I was right. And in all fairness, we've seen these decisions given time and time again in Cyprus. In fact, I remember the cup final when Shehu was sent off for exactly the same thing. So I would have been very surprised if they didn't give him a red. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see, Borsov's not really arguing.
No.
Everybody else around him, but yeah. So Aris get the sending off, and then after that, the game kind of turned on his head, and it was more. I found it was more Aris kind of pushing forward, and I think Agridas were just trying to catch him on the counter after that.
Yep.
Which.
Yep.
You'd think, that's probably.
Well, it doesn't help when your centre back is slipping over all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but this is Mappa.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
Aris starting to really. I think the players are starting to get a bit worried now because this is what the fifth draw in a row.
Fifth draw, yeah, 5 draws in a row.
And they're just not scoring as well. A lot of 0-0s in that. So
well, it makes you wonder what is happening with Stepinski, because we knew about his injury problems before he rejoined them on loan.
Yeah.
Gogodin's done okay, but when Bambiga isn't on form, you're kind of expecting goals from everywhere else. Like Kazoo isn't scoring goals now. Bengtson isn't scoring goals. Obviously, Spoljaric is injured. And Agrida almost won it here as well. So
Lopez almost being the hero again.
Yeah. So it's January, silly season now, so you never know what's around the corner. Aris might go and bring another player from Serie A, another striker.
Yeah, maybe.
But the way things are right now, all the pre-season hype about how they're going to be title contenders, well, that's going down the toilet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not going well for them. I got to say, I didn't have them finishing in the top 6, so
that's understandable.
Yeah, but then again, I had the IL top, so.
Oh well.
But yeah, So it's very worrying for them as well because the teams below them are starting to pick up the form.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. But before we head off from this game, the Onodi clock. Onodi clock.
We need like a jingle or something.
Yeah, I was trying to put a bit of echo there. We need a soundboard. Just do Onodi clock. So ticks over one more game. Still hasn't made an appearance. He was on the bench this time though, so whatever was occurring in the last match day, he was fine this match day. But yeah,
yes,
still waiting on that first team appearance for him.
It's coming. We'll
see.
Sooner rather than later, it's coming. Oh, poor guy. I hope he doesn't watch this. I really hope he doesn't.
Me too. Be really demotivating.
We're gonna get an email soon. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Please desist. That'd be great.
Cease and desist. Oh my god. All right. Next game. Let's go to my team. Although my team, Omonia, we won. Yeah, you got another win.
Yeah.
What's happening? What's
Yeah,
happening, Phila?
I told
Mate.
you, money are back, baby.
Well, listen, it's another win. It's 3 wins on the bounce, and we're seeing MVP performances from the likes of Brandon Barker. So clearly things are going well. And to be honest, mate, we were the big winners at the weekend, given all the teams above us dropped points. So yeah, what did you make of this game?
No, really good game to watch. Especially, I think Omonia players must be looking a bit higher up now, especially following this match day and going like, you know what? I think we can charge on this. I think Adam Lang was on Total Greeny. I think he said the same, that they're still aiming to go for the title. So
Well,
I think it's early days. But
this time 2 seasons ago, we were 15 or 14 points behind Apollon, and we went on to win the title. Now we're only 10, 11 points behind. So listen, I'm not talking about the title. I'm just happy with this renaissance and the style of football that we're playing, especially in the opening half hour, 45 minutes of games. And I'm just enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying the football more than the results, more than anything, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, no, it's the performances have been good. I think I spoke about it last week. Is probably not last week, last match day. Is probably because Ferrara needed time to put his what he was trying to do together. I mean, we saw this game. Barker was on the opposite side to where we saw him in the last game, and he was still, popping up everywhere and delivering chances left, right, and centre. And with his goal was on the opposite side to the cross that he did for the first goal.
That's right.
Yeah, Barker's shown up. Bashir as well. I think there's a couple of clearances off. I think this is the corner where he's got clearance off the line. It's probably he's like proper. Yeah, there you go. And I think there's another couple of chances as well where he just throws his body on the line just to block the shot.
He's vital. He's vital, and I've been saying this since he joined us. He Sarfo is undoubtedly Abuel's most technically gifted player, most intelligent, I believe, anyway. And Bash has got a similar impact for Omonia. I think his presence in the middle of the park, when he's not there, you can tell that there's going to be issues. But he's got that senior figure about him. He's played in the championship. He's played in Sweden. He's a very established footballer, played African nations. So yeah, he's very underestimated. I think very undervalued player. But here's Barker's goal. Great finish.
No, great finish. What I want to know is that what the hell is the defense doing? I mean, he had the chance to mess up the control, still keep the ball, stand in the same place, and finish. So obviously, he still had a lot of work to do once he messed up the control in the first place. But there was nobody chasing him down again. The second ball. But the way he's been performing the last couple of games, he deserves all the plaudits that are coming to him. He's really picked it up. So I think, but it's not just him. It's Gagulis is being a pain for the defense. We already said Bashiru. With that, Bruno showed up for this game. A lot of these players, some of them, you like. Earlier in the season, you were kind of, I wouldn't say, let's say were a bit negative about them. People like Ansari Fad, for instance, as well.
No, you'd be right. You'd be 100% right, mate.
And I think it's because there was a system that Yannick wants to use. I keep saying Yannick as if I'm an Omonia fan. Is that Ferrara?
Well, listen, we don't know whether it's Ferrara, Ferrari, Ferraro. Just call him Yannick. It's easier.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think he's come from the same school of thought as David Badia and David Catala and all these guys, and he's trying to come up with a fluid system. But obviously that requires the players to get used to that kind of system, which is why there was this like difficulty period when he first started. But now things are starting to gel together a bit more. You're seeing better performances from the players. On Moxas' side, they decided to turn up when they were 2-0 down.
Yep.
Now, okay, so
here we go.
So
VAR check.
Yeah. So I thought the lines looked a bit weird on this. So I kind of went into I did a screenshot when they drew the lines, and I kind of copied and pasted the screenshot into CAD, and then just drew some dimensions just to see whether those lines are straight. I've got it in my notes. So, but yeah, on the far side, you've got difference between the lines of about 55 centimeters. But this is based off of the screenshot, so it's not necessarily 55 centimeters. It's just the dimension that I've put on there. And then at the bottom, it's 84 centimeters.
Okay.
So the line's not been drawn in straight. Like,
well, let me bring up on the screen now, because if you notice, right, look at the lines and look at the center circle, the line there on the halfway line. Come back. Oh, for crying out loud. Jesus.
There you go.
So
there it is.
They're not parallel. They're not parallel. I think they've gone by the lines on the pitch.
Yeah, which aren't necessarily the best.
No.
Yeah, they're not the best indicator. But yeah, I don't know. What part of me is like, you need better camera angles.
Yeah.
Of that one that's kind of sat up there and is very static. I think you need one that's a bit lower down.
Yeah.
And kind of
agree.
Pick up the positions better. I mean, it might be just because of how the stadium and how the media areas are set up in the Rasibi. But I think they need to bring down the camera a little bit for these VAR checks, because some of these checks, the lines are a bit dodgy. You probably have the Cyprus FA coming back and being like, "Oh well, actually the lines are fine." But what they actually mean is, I don't know. It looks sort of okay. So yeah, we'll let them off. But
this is it. Like, because there isn't a lot of attention on this league, I think they brought in VAR just to keep up with the Joneses. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the technology is wrong. It's like you said, with the camera angles. If they got a specific angle for certain decisions, then it would work fine. I mean, it's not like the Premier League where there's 100 cameras in every stadium. But and I can't see GOP spending a shit ton of money on improving the cameras, or whether it be the TV companies or whatever. So for them, it's like, well, we've got it. It's one of our unique selling points because we say we've got it, and there's still some leagues that don't have it. But what's the point in having something if you don't use it properly? You know, it's like having a lawnmower when you don't have grass.
Pretty much, yeah. It's that's exactly it, isn't it? It's I don't know. I think they need to work on it a bit more. But maybe that's, you work on it by using it.
Yeah.
It's like that's how you get better at stuff, by working on it. So if you're not able to work on it, then you're not going to get better at it. And they need live moments. They need live actual matches going on to be able to do it. So you can do all the testing you want, like what they did in the Alfamera, beforehand, where they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna test the VAR and test the referees and test everything before the match is coming." But unless there's an actual match going on, like a proper one with all the rigmarole around it, with the the players and the managers arguing with the referees like 95% of the time and all the rest of it, then you're not going to see what you can improve.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, obviously, that when things do go wrong, everybody loses their minds.
Yep. Yeah, it happens
other
quite
th-
frequently. I mean, how many times
Yeah.
have we discussed something like this on this particular? And we've only been doing what 5 or 6 of these pods when it comes to match reviews, and it's always the same situation. And the other thing that perhaps I think you may have mentioned a few weeks ago, the thickness of these lines. There doesn't seem to be any consistency. You know,
No. Mm-hmm.
it's almost as
No.
if one week they make it thinner, one week make it thicker. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
Sikime.
yeah, exactly. I think I don't know what I think, man. It's just get me some better camera angles, and if a decision
Yes.
is taken longer than 1 minute to have a look at it, then whatever the on-field decision was counts. I think
Yeah.
because otherwise you end up with games that go to the 100th minute, like the Nel Salamina game.
Yeah. Oh, blimey. You know.
I mean, what is
Well,
this,
come all
American?
over again.
Yeah, what is this, American football or something?
What kind of sport is this?
Yeah. But anyway, the whole point of we're doing match reviews, right? I spent most of the time talking about fucking VAR decision. No, Omonia, just because obviously this is on No Choftis. Omonia played very well, guys. Well done.
Oh,
Omonia
come
did a
on.
really good job.
Come on. You don't need to be nice just because it's.
No, but like again, players were absolutely spot on. They are where they needed to dig in, they dug in. Where they needed to show a bit of class, they showed it. It's all gelling together. So Omonia very dangerous right now to those teams above them. Kind of if we look at on Doxa's side of things, though, it's not looking good, is it?
It isn't, and I don't think there's any news about a new head coach because they sacked their latest one after 6-7 days.
Yeah, I mean the next one's going to be the next one's going to be like Abe Simpson in the meme. He puts his hat down.
Puts that hat. Whistles, walks in, all that.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically going to be it.
That's the same meme I used when Lamkelze was apparently joining on Money Age. Jesus. All right, let's move on. Right, from one comedy act from VAR to another comedy act. Unorthodoxy, but it wasn't a funny one this time because they got a big draw against High Flying Ajax and Loria, who you absolutely battered last show.
Yeah,
he was the hero with the penalty save. And I'll tell you what, mate. This caretaker coach they've got. I forget his name now. Fucking hell. It was on Prime. Oh my god, he was on Prime. So he played for Omonia as well. I forgot his name. Ramodo. Anyway, they want him. They want him as a permanent, and he went with 5 at the back.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not just that. I mean, you'll see a lot of the in a lot of the chances that I have, you see that they stifled the wings. So there's a lot of balls through the middle, and the defense, except for at this point here, obviously with the penalty, the defense dealt with it because they were in Ajax's face. They were actually going into them. They were, throwing tackles in, which they weren't doing in the games previous. It's a really good save, this, by the way. It's Loria says no. I did slate him. He's had some proper howlers over the season, but when he wants to be good, he is really good, and he proved that with the penalty save. Now, another decision, I think is a really good decision that this manager's made, is that have you noticed who played up front for Anorthosis? Or who didn't play up front for Anorthosis?
Oh, yes, your friend. He didn't play. He didn't play. Boris, he didn't play him.
Yeah. I mean, they still didn't score. But
Progress.
yeah, progress. They missed less chances.
Yes.
But yeah, so that, like for instance here, I think in games previous, Trzaskowski would have been on his own with Laureate there and he would have scored.
Yep, 100%.
But
He's another one that's off the ball now, isn't he?
yeah, he's
Trzaskowski.
not. Yeah, he's not really. Here you go, this free kick as well. He's really not. He's trying. He does a lot of other stuff for the team, but his finishing is leaving a lot to be. He's leaving a lot to be. What's the phrase?
Desired.
Yeah, desire. That's the one. It might be. I think we spoke about it before. It might be an age thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a couple of these strikers now. They're starting to near the end of their careers, I think, and it's not going completely their way at the moment.
Well, mate, I'll tell you what. I think I will be very disappointed they didn't get anything from the one. I know they got a point, but you'd have thought that the Anorthosis having a practically empty stadium, the pressure on the club. I know that it was like a siege mentality because the head coach had left and the players perhaps had a point to prove and whatnot. But I think Ajax will look back on this game if they don't win the title, if they don't finish in the top two, and they'll say this was probably the game where we kind of fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because in all fairness, as you mentioned, Trzaskowski had that chance and the penalty as well. It's these fine margins, mate, which cost teams. And yeah, I don't know.
No, I agree. I think if other teams had got results this weekend, you would have seen panic stations for Ajax.
Yeah,
because they would have dropped down. They would have dropped down the places. Kind of like what's happening at Bathwa at the moment. It's a bit nuts going on there. But yeah. But like you were saying, you stop Ajax from going down the wing, and you stifle their play. So there was players like Farage and Altman. They were barely in the game.
Yep.
So you saw a lot more of Trzaskowski. You saw a lot more of who's the other guy? Not Romo.
Altman.
No, the Spanish striker that they've got. Not Romo, the other one.
Oh no! He scored the winner against Omonia.
It's not Alves. His name's not Alves. But anyway.
I think it's late. We're doing this quite late, and I fucking
But anyway,
because everything is going. Honestly, I think maybe it's our age as well, mate. That could be it. Rafa Lopez.
Rafa Lopez. Yeah, but because they weren't able to play their normal game, they were trying to force the ball over the top through the middle.
Yeah.
And don't know why more teams are not doing that. I mean, you've been saying it for weeks now that teams should be stopping them from crossing the ball, and obviously we're the first team to basically do that to them.
Well, that's because they played five at the back. The two fullbacks were able to stay on the touchline, and when you got three centre backs dealing with crosses, it's easier to attack two centre backs, obviously, because you don't have that extra man. But when you got three, you got the spare man, and with Ajax, what they do, especially first half, they don't overload the box with players when the ball's put in the box. They usually have one or two, but when they're chasing a game, they will overload it. But Anorthosis had three very, very physical central defenders. And to be honest with you, to be fair with Vesko Mihailovic, that's his name. This is a guy who was coaching the academy, and some of the players didn't even know who the fuck he was. But he's come in, albeit to steady the ship for the time being. And some of the fans are saying, well, keep him here till the end of the season because given on the basis of that performance, the fight, the togetherness. When Loria saved the penalty, you saw everyone celebrating with him. You can tell that perhaps as good as a coach Munoz is, perhaps he wasn't this great man manager. Maybe there was something there. There was something there that the players didn't gravitate towards him. You just never know. You just never know.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think that I'm just looking at Anarthos' next couple of games. They've got a Bologna away, and then they've got Paralimni at home.
Yeah.
So, if they manage to get a result against Apollon at the Alfamera, and then play Paralimni at home with the home fans, and they get say 6 points from those two games, then you're giving the job.
Corner, they're turning the corner.
Yeah,
you
giving
never know.
the job. You might actually get Waris to score as well. You don't know.
There you go.
If he does, if he does that, give him the job for life.
Oh, look at that far. Fucking hell. By the way, you know that Grand Theft Auto meme? Ah, shit, here we go again. You know, yeah? Look at Vesco's face when the penalty was given. Fucking hell. When I saw it, here we go. Ah, shit, here we go again.
Oh man. If that penalty had gone in, he would have packed his suitcase during the match.
Mate, listen, he's a nutcase. I don't want to fuck about with him, honestly. He's like 7 foot tall as well. But it looks like Anorthosis are going to bring in a centre forward, the Spanish lad who was going to join when Munoz was in charge.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they scouted. They thought, okay, these are 2 or 3 good players that we should be signing. Despite the fact that Munoz isn't there anymore, they still scouted these players and said, okay, these are suitable players to go into the team. So they're going to have them regardless.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly going to be an interesting transfer window for them because for them to still be signing players that were targeted under the previous head coach shows that clearly these guys were in their plans. So yeah, Antonin Cortez is the latest sign, but he's only 22 years old, and this guy has played for Malaga, he's played for Granada, if I'm not mistaken, and Vallecano, Guimarães.
He's got to Portugal as well. Okay,
he was there, yeah, he was on loan there for the first half of last season, I think. So, he can play centre forward. They clearly need a centre forward, and look, while Vada vision, which we don't really have this week, in all fairness. While Varda is a loss on the pitch for what he can bring, this season he was very underwhelming. And the clear out started. Apparently Lazaro might even return to the club. He's been training with them. But...
yeah, I don't know. That they're umming and ahhing about it from what I can gather. While he wasn't popular with Munoz, I don't think I think he's not popular with the players either, so they're kind of a bit they're a bit iffy on him returning for the time being. But yeah,
watch the space.
Yeah,
space.
Yeah, I mean, can't get the clown music out this week. So weird.
It's all right.
Weird.
Give them a week off. They did themselves proud, in all fairness.
Oh yeah. They've got a ball on next week, so let's see.
Yep. Right, next game. Perhaps one of the shocks of the season already. AEL beating Apoel by a goal-0. Mate, before we review this game, you know that age-old question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I've got a Prodatlima version of this. Who came first, Janevski or Sean Dyche? Because this AEL performance had Burnley written all over it. Defend deep. get bodies behind the ball, last ditch, get physical, smash and grab, rely on one or two quality players to dig you out of the mire. And I'll tell you what, I said this on Twitter, Chibola's performance, mate, I keep waxing lyrical about this player, but he was so good, man. So good.
Yeah, I mean, the pass for the goal, once it comes up, is chef's kiss, proper business.
Yeah.
But a lot of this team, again, we keep going back to the same thing with Isle. A lot of the team for Isle is quality. It's just that their strike force isn't is not doing it for them. I don't know what it. I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't know with their strike force, but kind of they, like you were saying, actually, yeah, they Sean Diced it. They proper dug in and fought for everything. Went into Abuel, showed their teeth.
Yeah.
I think Abuel missed again. I keep talking about players like Kostandinov.
Yeah.
They're missing him a lot because they don't have that kind of that enforcer who's there, not afraid to get stuck in as well with them.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. And to be honest, as much as I think last season, Garo was, for me, one of the best centre-backs in the league. This season, I don't know what's happened to him, but he just looks so out of sorts, man. Clumsy, getting clattered into. He was lucky not to give away a penalty there. I know the player was offside. But at the other end of the field, this guy, Kvili Dyer, hit the bar. Only one goal this season.
What does he have to do? What does he have to do? He's working really hard. I mean, the only reason I've not gone all Waris baiting on him is because he's got at least one goal.
Yeah.
But you can
1
see
minute, 1 minute. Let me hold you there. Wait. Okay, there it is. Sorry. I had to cut you there,
move. Outstanding move.
I had to cut you because that pass, man, that's football porn right there.
No. It's going back to it. Sweet as a nut. As a nut. Like the feint as well to kind of really, really, really lovely pass.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying about
No, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the highlight to come back up again so I can see it again. There you go. Look at that precision on that. Fantastic pass.
Yeah.
And then, that was the other thing I wanted to. That's the other thing I wanted to bring up actually with Isle scoring this goal. They've kind of gone for all these names for their strike force. You know, your Miralas, your Casa, your Berahino, all these players. And their last two goal scorers have been Baba Fodi and Magri.
Well, look, you got to get goals from somewhere, I guess. You know, but this opportunity here, no, it was the one at the end which the penalty wasn't it? This one right here, that was really Abuel's main clear-cut opportunity. I mean, you could argue Kvili Dyer's one was, but I think he made that chance for his one. This one was a clear-cut opportunity, and you bet a lot of money on Ephraim putting that one away. Don't get me wrong, it was a great save from the goalkeeper. But talk to me about this penalty decision, or the decision that wasn't given, because all season we've seen these given. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to complain because I'm an Omonia fan, and it fills me with a lot of joy to see Abuel suffer. But at the same time, I've seen these given all season, so I can understand why their fans are pissed off about it. I mean, it's the second time they've been screwed at this stadium.
It's not a happy hunting ground, is it? And then their friend gets the red card right at the end. That's very petulant from him. We should know better.
Frustration.
Yeah, but from because there's been a couple of these decisions kind of this match day. There was another one, I think, I can't remember what game it was, but they were there. They did the penalty review for the handball, and it was because the player was kind of falling to the ground and the ball hit his hand.
Yes, yes.
I can't remember what it came up.
It might be that. Yeah, I know which one. Yeah.
But it looks like they've kind of come back a little bit on the handball penalty decisions. It's just because they've been a bit anal with the handballs. I think is it anal? Yeah.
It can be,
Yeah. Anyway, they've been giving handball at every opportunity, even when necessarily you might see in another league, there'll be a review and then they'll go, that's not handball because the player tried to move his hand out of the way, or he was falling and the ball hit his hand. So it looks like they've had the little meeting that they have every so often, and they've been probably brought up on the fact that they keep giving away penalties for handball when they shouldn't necessarily be doing it because this reason and this reason and this reason. So again, it's an iterative thing, but there's no. At least there's. At least they're kind of making sense within the match day this time round, decision wise. It's a bit more clarity. Not clarity.
Yeah.
It's making a bit more sense for them this time around. Say a couple of weeks ago, where there was like penalty for this exact same thing happening in another game, no penalty for that. Red card, yellow card, no free kick. It was all over the place. Whereas I think this game week, this match day, I think they've been a bit more solid with their joint decisions. So, if you're an Abuel fan, you'd be pissed. If you're an IL fan, you'd be reaching for the moon.
100%, and that ends Abuel's long unbeaten run, which has gone 4 or 5 months, if that.
It's been.
Can't remember the last time they lost a game. In all fairness,
it's the first time the manager's lost.
Yeah, first time he's lost a game. So, well, look, these things happen, and I guess it's an opportunity for them to regroup. But there's been a lot of criticism for various players, Dalcio being one of them. There are calls for a new centre forward. They're linked with a Sivasspor striker who played under the head coach at Red Star Belgrade. But IL have signed, Ben as well, the winger. But IL have signed a forward from Jagiellonian, haven't they?
Well, have they?
I don't know. You lead the way, my friend.
Well, this is the problem. Is I think they've gone with the Omonia announcing there.
Lamco Zé,
yeah. I think they've gone with the announcing Omonia announcing Lamco Zé kind of thing, because the press release was like, we are pleased to announce that we've signed what's his name, Fedor Cheric. And then you kind of look at the small print. It's prior to him actually signing the contract and actually him undertaking the medical. So he hasn't done his medical and he hasn't signed the contract yet. But I'll have announced him anyway. They basically
what could go wrong?
They basically announced he was on a flight to Cyprus. And I picked this up and I kind of went, not quite. And like a reporter, a football reporter in Poland picked it up and kind of reported on it, saying like, it's not actually been agreed yet, so don't. And then it was like, and I was looking through the conversation the reporter was having with people responding to him, clicking that translate button.
Yes.
All the way through, you're kind of reading through people's opinions and questions and whatnot. So one of the things that came up, he was responding to a question saying they haven't actually had his medical yet. Wink. So, I'm not. I'm just reporting back what I've read. Now, not only that, so Cheric is a striker. So they need a striker who scores goals.
Yes.
He's a forward. However, for Jagiellonia, he's got a goal every 10 games for him.
Wow.
And so this is his second stint with Jagiellonia, because prior to that he was a bit more prolific, but they've been very let down with him this time round, and they're very happy to see the back of him, from what I gather. So exactly what I need is another striker who's having trouble finding the net.
I am not going to speculate, but the wheels are in motion. Well, look, all right, you got me, red-handed. But in my stupid little mind, my little pea brain, I'm thinking, who is his agent? How many clients of this agent are at the club? I haven't done the Googles, so I'm just asking the question here.
I'll do it live.
I don't know.
I'll do it live.
Oh, go on. While you're at it.
Yeah. Yeah, just vamp for a bit while I look it up.
Well, just going back to that game.
Yeah.
We were talking about Abuel and how some of the fans are unhappy with the likes of Dalcio and a few other players. I didn't see them creating much, especially in the first half, and Marquinhos was getting frustrated. The fullbacks weren't able to get forward as much as they like and deliver. I saw Suzic getting forward. I saw Ferrari putting some balls in the box. But when you don't have a centre forward that is 100% fit, 100% confident, and is getting goals, I kind of feel sorry for Kveli Dyer, in all fairness, because that final season at Anorthosis, he was blistering, and last season he was pretty decent. But this season, I was saying to myself, if this guy stays fit all year, he could be absolutely deadly. It's just not happening for him, and I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I don't think psychologically he's not all there. I just think that he's going through a really bad spell. As a striker, when you're feeding off crumbs, 'cause that's what he is, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So I just think I think it's good that the other fans aren't getting on his back, but at the same time, they do need another striker. They definitely do. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah. No, I think some strikers probably kind of they get the goals and that's kind of it. Whereas Kveli Dyer looks like he's been given a job to do. I think I've mentioned this before. He's been given a job to do. He's there to hassle kind of defensive mids, central defenders when they've got the ball. He's kind of getting in their faces, trying to grab the ball, trying to lay it off to the wingers, trying to build up play, that kind of stuff. And he seems to be doing that very well. It's just that for some reason, it's just not happening for him to put the ball in the net. And sometimes it's just luck. I mean, you saw in the game, he hit the bar. He did everything right. It's just the frame of the goal just kept the ball out.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends, Leon, used to play for Brighton, Swansea. He scored a lot of goals in the Championship.
Leon Knight.
And, that's right, Knight, yeah. There you go, Championship manager legend right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
There you go. And the one thing he told me that really stands out, this was 2014, round about that time when he and I started to get to know each other a lot better. And he said to me, Stel, what you got to understand is strikers, when they're not scoring, it doesn't matter if they're not scoring, it's what they do off the ball or what they do when they're not scoring. Now, Knighty played for Chelsea with the likes of Lampard, Terry, Casiraghi, Zola, Desai. He's got stories and stories. So I'm going to listen to what he's saying. And this is something that I tell a lot of people. When a striker isn't scoring goals, if they're not scoring, fine. But what are they doing when they're not? Are they setting up? Are they creating space? Are they creating openings? Are they contributing in a different way? And that's the problem that Omonia had. A lot of Omonia fans had when it came to understanding Duris. Because while he didn't score many goals, what he did when he wasn't scoring, unless you were focusing on his game, you wouldn't notice. But whether it be hassling a goalkeeper or chasing down loose balls or dragging defenders out of position or creating, that's worth just as much as a goal for a striker. Granted, his job is to score goals. I get it. But when he's not scoring goals and he's causing hassle in the box and allowing other people to get involved in the game and create opportunities and even scoring goals, you saw his contribution to the winner the other week against Olympiacos. It was his quick thinking to bring the ball down with his chest and lay it off. So, I haven't seen any criticism of the guy. I don't go on Upwell forums, obviously. I don't really pay too much attention to what the press put out. But I don't know any Upwell fans that have got on his back yet. So I think they're giving him the benefit of that because they know what kind of a player that he is and how pivotal he could be for him. Let's get it right.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's he's not a Berbatov type player,
No.
But Berbatov, when he didn't score goals, you just saw him kind of standing around waiting for the ball to come to him. Whereas Kviridaya is, I think it comes with the captain's armband as well.
Yep.
He's kind of trying to lead by example, like hassle, get the ball, pass it off, lay it off. The individual the team is greater than the individual, that kind of stuff.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our final game. And it's like the Alamo, wasn't it? Panic at the Disco. Buffalo. Wow, more drop points. A lot of controversy at the end of this game. A 2-2 draw against Apollon. And, mate, what a spanner in the works this is.
Absolute scenes or from start to end of this game. You get the goal really early there, Gyro getting in another goal is the man cannot stop scoring, and because of that really early goal in the game. Since you said last week about the way Berg likes to set his teams up, I really I took more notice of how Bafos ended up kind of going really defensive, and you'll see a lot of the chances that Bafos had in this game from counterattacks, from the kind of long balls forward, and then players like Gyro and Juninho and fast, speedy players. There you go again. It was, and everybody bombing forward to try and get to that last ball. I've got the Bafos defense needs shooting. There's a chance coming up. You see VAR there, right? VAR, it looks like a baby compared to some of these players.
Yep.
Now, how does Juninho get beat in the air by VAR there?
Yep.
VAR's like 3'2". Look at him. He's a tiny little man.
Yeah, but there's something that I hope that you noticed, right? What looks like a pass back to the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
Look at the centre back's face. Look at his face. He's like, I'm not going to get away with it. I'm going to get away with it.
I had this. How is that not a pass back? How is it not a pass back?
That's brilliant.
Look at it. It is. Oh, there you go. I'm just gonna poke it back. There you go. What?
But just look on his face afterwards, like he knows he's fucked up, but he thinks he's getting away with it. He knows he's going to get away with it.
I mean, that was again. That was another handball. It wasn't a handball because Juninho was falling to the ground.
Yep.
He was putting his hand out to stop him from
breaking his ribs.
Yeah, landing funny, and yeah, the ball hits him, but it's not because of it's not because he's put his hand there specifically to stop the ball. But yeah, it should have been an indirect free kick for a pass back.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we've got here. It's not an Apollon game if the post doesn't get hit, regardless of if it was Bafo having the chance there. But yeah, Apollon seems to just be involved in all kinds of games where the frame of the goal is involved a lot. Yeah, so VAR completely. He had Juninho in his pocket. I don't know how he would have Juninho in his pocket because he'd be sticking out like a lot. But yeah, like penalty. Definitely.
He was a man possessed, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Going back to his old club, got a score to settle.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he played well last game as well. So again, I think I don't know what had gone on previous, whether he just wasn't preferred by the previous coaches or what. But he seems to have been brought back into the team now, and he seems to be causing all kinds of trouble for defenses. Penalty. Yeah, maybe a better than Bellara. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, but there, if he didn't touch the ball there, that's a goal.
Yep.
But he went to go try and poke it in.
It's beggars belief. Honestly, I just don't understand.
Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go in. It's going in. Just let it go.
The thing I will say is, even if he did let it go in, I get the feeling it would have been disallowed anyway because he's obstructing the goalkeeper's vision.
You think?
No, at that angle, no. That angle, no.
Yeah.
I'll take that back.
Yeah.
The back angle, no. This one, I'd have said yeah. But when you look at the angle behind Hendy, no, no, I'll take that back.
But yeah, yeah. Again, this game all over the place. That's a pass from Gyro, isn't it? That was a
That'd have been an assist.
How what a pass. And then Mustafa Nam scores a goal here, and just from sheer perseverance, and then top bin.
Quality finich. I think was it Haystad? Was it Haystad that number 19? Just keep looking at him. Watch what he does. Oh, look at that. Oh man, I love noticing these things. That's like when you're in the school playground and your mate scores again. Like, what?
But I think that this is the angle here. This is like watch. Boom.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right, no one's reaching now. That's going up there with Morgan Brown's goal.
Oh, 100%. And he meant it as well. And he meant it 100%.
Yeah.
Dear. Dying moments, you're thinking, here we go. Wrap it up. But nope.
Missed it up there.
Apollon just grabbed the script, tore it up.
I mean, they didn't they. I mean, the first one here, they messed it up.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you're like thinking, oh, they're going to get a goal. Oh no, they're not. And then, a minute and a half later, this happens.
Yeah. Look, I'm not in the goalkeepers union or anything, but it's very similar to the goal that was disallowed in the sense that it's beating the goalkeeper at his near post, right? You could argue the bounce didn't help. You could argue it may have taken a nick off someone's head. It was given a Hamas's goal. I can't see if Dingini got a touch. Maybe, I don't know, he got a hair on it. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, no. If it was, it would have been. Yeah, if it was, it would have been. It would have been given offside.
Off, yeah. Well, the goalkeeper should be doing so much better for that. I'm sorry. It was a good height for him, and I forget the goalkeeper's name, but he's been suspect all season. And while defensively, they've got a good record, he isn't a goalkeeper that will win you the title. He doesn't seem like a goalkeeper like a Piric or a Fabiano or a Belic that will save you 10, 15 points a season. He doesn't come across as that kind of goalkeeper. I might be proved wrong, but I don't know. He should be saving those as far as I'm concerned.
No. I think I agree with you there. It's just that I think he's. I think that comes with experience as well. He's 22, so he's. I think and
they let Woodcock go for him.
Yep. I mean, I'm just looking on Transfermarkt at his teams. We've got Austrian teams, and it's ones I've not heard of before. So, it's not. It's not Admiral Vaca or.
No, look. I don't think.
Things, it's not.
I mean, obviously, it does matter the teams that he's played for, but we've seen players come to Cyprus from smaller teams and they've done well. So I'm not saying that's the reason, but I don't. When I see him, he looks very ropey. He doesn't look comfortable catching the ball. Shot stopping, he's good, but when it comes to standard saves, like the one they should have been making in the last minute, and look, you could argue that the defense should have dealt with it. It was a decent height for the defenders, and obviously the blame goes with everyone. But in the 95th minute, and the guy is 45 yards out, whipping it in from the touchline, that should not be going in. I'm sorry. At that height as well, it's not as if it went top bins. It's not as if it bounced and it evaded the goalkeeper. It was terrible. And again, it's games like these, points that they've dropped from winning positions or in positions in games where they've been very, very comfortable. The Ajax game, for example, they weren't under the cosh to the point where you could say that, they deserve to lose. They had enough opportunities against Apoel when they lost 2-1 at home, conceding goals from set pieces. Similar way, really, balls whipped in. This one we just mentioned, the Olympiacos game where the defense fucked up and it cost them a point. Aris away, the 2-2 draw. They're dropping points because of individual mistakes, and this very much reminds me of Berg's second season at Omonia when the defensive mistakes, the schoolboy errors, as we like to call them, were rife. They were absolutely rife. And while they're scoring goals, great. We saw them on the counter-attack. They're very dangerous. Zairo is scoring goals left, right, and centre. They're getting goals from all over the pitch, But when your defence is making mistakes like that, for me, that's a big red flag. Big red flag.
No, I agree with you. They're gonna suffer a lot, I think, with that if they don't book up their ideas. Do
you think they'll bring another defender in this January?
It doesn't look like it. If anything, they're going for more strikers. Going for more. They're going for more attacking players, aren't they? I was reading that basically Berg was like, I don't care what you need to do, I want him about Bruno. They were like,
a story came out yesterday that they want Lesiaks.
I mean, if you want to cut out the mistakes in your defense.
I'm sorry, Jan. Oh my God. Well, listen, you're not wrong on the basis of this season, for sure. You're not wrong. And this isn't disrespect, it's fact.
He's been very well. I won't say he's been very poor because obviously we've not seen or heard of it, of him for the last 2 or 3 games, which means either he's not playing or he's actually doing his job properly. So either one of those two means something. But yeah, I don't know. But Berg is going for players that got him the sack last time round. What makes him think they're not going to get him the sack this time round?
Well, look, he clearly knows the player. He's the one that signed him. I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't really. Look, okay, Antosh is the number one, but you got Alathabal at the club.
He's very
And
experienced.
Mate, he won the Champions League.
What? Hold on, what?
He's a Champions League winner with Barcelona.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to say I missed that.
Yeah, he won okay, he was on the bench. So I'm not saying that he played, but he's got a Champions League. He's got what's he got? How many titles has he got in his career? He's got the Spanish League in 2009. He's got 3 Super Cups. He's, this guy's done a lot in his career. So for him to be either sat on the bench or I don't even know, has he even played for him yet? I fuck knows. Maybe he's not fit. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I mean, he signed. When did he sign for him? He signed in the summer,
yeah. They made a big deal about signing him. Yeah, he's just been on the bench.
But this it's beggars belief, honestly.
He played one match in the Gibello.
Right. Okay.
Against Ayers.
Okay. Okay. Well, again, that's another interesting one. I don't know. Perhaps it's. I'm just guessing here that Antosh is probably another Moneyball kind of player. At 22 years old, maybe they think if you can get him into Europe, he might play a couple of games. His price tag will go up. Again, I don't know. Look, Henningberg is obviously there. He knows better than we do. But again, it surprises me that you've got a 33-year-old goalkeeper, and 33 is young for a goalkeeper, really, in the grand scheme of things. A goalkeeper that's won or been involved in successful Barcelona teams, and he's sat on the bench at Buffalo. Maybe he joined as a favour for Mendieta or Salgado. You just never know. We're just speculating here, but
it could be coaching badges thing as well. It could be
possibly. But again, I don't believe Buffalo will win the league with this goalkeeper, and I don't want to shit on the guy. And it's not fair because he's still a kid. He's only 22. But the mistakes that he made, especially with that goal at the end, I don't know.
I think I'm agreeing with you there. He's a work in progress, but he's not there yet.
No. Yeah. But again, it's still early days, really. I mean, my friend Muggy told me yesterday. He goes, the second half of the season is when it really kicks off, when it really, it all falls into place, when the teams that are going to be there or thereabouts. And it's been, okay, there's been a few draws, don't get me wrong, a few 0-0s this week, and we haven't really had much to talk about in terms of goals. But when you talk about the entertainment and the way that some teams are actually changing overnight, Anorthosis, for example, how they were very defensively astute against AEK. Even AEK struggling to score. Buffalo throwing away a win. Apollon fighting back. Abuel losing. Aris winning. There's still a long way to go, and there's obviously more twists and turns to come. But I think, I'm hoping that the league remains as competitive as what it's been this season, because look, we've been saying for a long time that, obviously Abuel were dominating. You had a few spells with Omonia winning and Anorthosis winning the title. We want a competitive league. We don't want 1 or 2 teams just fighting for the title. Exactly. When you've got 3 teams, like we had 3 teams on 37 points a couple of weeks ago, and the gap isn't getting wide now. It's closing. Yep. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm done. Yeah. I mean, we'll do the whole table thing at the end, but yeah, you'll see. While it's not been split by performances between the teams, it's not very far away.
No, not at all. Shall I bring it up?
Just before you do, I just want to bring up some signings that have gone on.
Go on.
In the second division.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as reported by our friend Cyprus Football E, Omonia Radipo signed a Cameroon international defender. He actually has 12 caps for Cameroon. There's a player called Jerome Guihoata. And he's played 12 times for Cameroon, and he's now playing for Omonia Radipo.
Oh, wow.
So that's the first one. Another one that's made the move down to the second division is Joseph Husbauer.
Was that Anorthosis?
Yeah, he was at Anorthosis, then he was at Garmiodisa. He got released by Garmiodisa, and now he's at FC Krasova, the Russian-owned club. Now, as well, I mean, it's probably something you've probably talked about already, but ALS Omonia, 29th May, whatever crap, FC United or Manchester Bulls happening, whatever they're called, the really long title, Omonia, that's not Omonia.
You said it, not me. They're coming for you, not me, mate.
Listen. It's whatever it is. They keep getting fined for spitting at referees and whatnot. But anyway, they've signed. Who is it? There's like a couple of really big names. Old Omonia players as well, haven't they?
Yeah, well, they signed Jordi Gomez.
Yeah. Exactly. There's Jordi Gomez, and there's a couple of others that they've signed as well. That I wasn't able to bring up the names in time, but just something else as well. Ethnikos Achnas have a player who is an international for Equatorial Guinea, and I just went, hold on when I first saw this, because his name is Solomon Obama. And it's a name. It's a name. But yeah, he plays for Ethnikos Achnas, and he's turning out for international matches for Equatorial Guinea.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And there's a few players like that dotted around.
I just hope it doesn't end up being an abomination. Yes.
No, but
I've got another shit pun in.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, there was another thing as well. I was watching on Instagram. Agroderia signed like two players from like Dutch teams, and they're like really young players as well.
Right. With Abea, right? Interestingly enough, this is common knowledge anyway to most. I don't know how or where the link comes from, but they've signed a few Dutch players in the past. Now, it wasn't Esselink wasn't there, was he? Was Esselink there? I can't remember. For the life of me, I can't remember if he was there. He was at Bayek. Apologies, he was at Bayek.
Mm-hmm.
He was at Bayek. But I need to do my Googles. I need to do my research on this because I distinctly remember them having a couple of Dutch players in the past anyway.
They've got 5. I'm looking at 5 of them right now.
Yeah.
And they're all very young as well.
Yeah. So they're very good. I don't know if they've got a link with a Dutch club or a Dutch agent. I'm not 100% sure, because last season I think they had a couple again on their books, and one of them left. But again, I'm trying to, because my brain right now is like a bloody lava lamp. But yeah, it's an interesting one. They had an 18 Jasper Huija. They had a player from Den Bosch, I think, or he's gone to Den Bosch. I can't remember. He's gone to. He joined from ADO, whatever they're called, ADO, what they call. I forget what they're called.
Den Haag.
Yeah, I think he joined from there, if I'm not mistaken. And he's gone to Den Bosch, but he was there last season. He's only like 18, 19 years old. So they've got a link somewhere. I need to ask around. There's someone I know that might. Yeah. But it's like Box have got the relationship with a Portuguese agency or something. I don't know. They've got a hell of a lot of Portuguese players there. So yes, it's like the Moneyball thing. Get players, produce them, train them up, hope you can sell them to a bigger club and get a sell-on fee, and then you make your money that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Anyway, I wanted to drop some second division love in there as well, and third because I got here in the third division.
Lovely.
Yeah. There we
All
go.
right. Let's get the league standings up, shall we? I'll let you do this one because you did so well last time.
Thank you very much.
Go on, Sunshine.
Thanks. Yeah, so there we go. We've got AEK top because they got the they got whatever they got. I can't now. My brain is fried again. Yeah, same as yours. Lava lamp. Anyway, 41
They're
points.
a point ahead. They're
a point ahead of. They're a point ahead of Abuel on 40 points. Obviously losing the game against Dael. And then Bafos are 2 points behind that, 38 points. So you've got 3 points between the top three. And then you've got a 4-point gap to Aris in fourth, and then Omonia in fifth, and only 3 points behind Aris. So that fourth place as well, that might end up being a European place based on whoever ends up winning the cup. That's right, isn't it?
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
So that fourth place, I think, is going to be very, very important. So Omonia, very, very much in with a shout there on 31 points in fifth. Apollon, 2 points behind them in sixth with 29 points. And then we've got a 4-point gap where we've got Ael and Nea Salamina on 25. And then another 5-point gap to Garmiodis on 20 points in ninth. And then Arostosi with 19 points in 10th. And then another 5-point gap where we've got Paralimni on 14 points in 11th. Doxa with 12 points in 12th. And Agrida with 11 points in 13th. And Olympiacos propping everybody up on 10 points.
Interestingly enough, when you look at the table, Apollon and Ael are on 17 games. I don't think they've taken into account the game that was postponed and that neither team gets any cancelled. Sorry, that neither team gets the points. So I don't know how they're going to work that out on the league table.
Well, I think it's still going to show up that they haven't played that game. It's just going to be asterisk.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it will just show up that they've played one game less.
Can you imagine if it comes down to, European places, Apollon, for example, and they fucked it up? Well, not them, but the people that caused the game to be cancelled.
Well, there'll be a court case, won't there?
Yeah.
It's kind of like what happened with Sheffield United and West Ham when West Ham signed Tevez and Mascherano.
Yeah, that's right.
Sheffield United got relegated. So.
Well, it usually ends up messy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're messy bitches in Gibro.
Of course we are. We are. Right, we're done for another week. Apologies for our lethargy. This is my fault. We were meant to start at a certain time and something got in the way, so we started late and we finished late. It's 20 past midnight in France, so apologies again, my friend, for keeping you up so late.
It's fine.
It's fine. But yeah, thank you for following us, everyone. Thank you for watching. Follow us. This is Mappa at Flares Cafes and at Cyprus Football E. Can't miss out the E. You need to have the E.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a few more days because the next round of games begin on Friday.
And we've also got cup matches.
Yeah, there's a game, was it Wednesday?
Tomorrow. Yep.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Today, as you're watching this.
Yes, Abuel Aris, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
Yeah, whatever. We'll mention that in the next review. So.
Yeah.
That's it. So we shall be back next week. Goodbye. Good night. Bye-bye.